Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the Nitwit Server. This is episode 3 and thanks for joining as always. I hope you enjoyed that opening cinematic of the gang taking down the Ender Dragon. I certainly had a lot of fun participating and in making the video. It was a lot of fun to put together. Right now I'm just over at my base in the games area putting the finishing touches on Pew Pew Tew. I'm going to show you the time-lapse of it being built and being tested and everything in just a few minutes. I didn't want to jump from time-lapse to time-lapse. The only change from what we saw in Creative last episode is that I've extended the platform out like by a good bit so that you're further away, so that the original spot is easy, then medium, and then 30 blocks away is hard. And the reason it's 30 blocks away is so that you can get the achievement bullseye if you get a perfect shot on the block. It's very difficult to do though. So I'm just gonna give up on this attempt and hang my head in shame, unfortunately. And before I start the time-lapse of it actually being built, I just want to give a huge shout out to Tyler, who rushed over to give me a hand with testing Pew Pew once I had gotten it up and running and everything. So massive shout out to you, Tyler. Thanks very much. The game wasn't even finished being built by the time he got over. He got over to help so quickly. So massive shout out, and I hope you enjoy the time-lapse, and I'll be right back. Device that I made using autocrafters to autocraft some dyed wolf armor to keep my wolf safe, because I started taking them off on adventures with me and it was great being able to craft it really quickly, and I could just dye them to tell which one is which. So the setup is like a really basic autocrafter setup, except as you saw there at the start there were 2 autocrafters being placed, one pointing into the other, and then they both get triggered at the same time. I would say with almost 100% surety that this is locational, and if you build this somewhere else in your world it may not work, so that if that is the case, do let me know. If you build this and it doesn't work, let me know. I'll come up with a smaller different design that does it, or equally sized design that does the same thing for you. So as the sign says, you just insert the die here over on the right, and then you take your armor out in the bottom here. We've already got some crafted in here from some other ones that I just had left over I was testing out. Basically you just want to fill this bottom one up with scutes, and this will happen automatically when you put the armadillos on top, and then that will push it up into this one. You want to have this in compare mode, not in subtract mode, and this is to have 8 slots blocked off, so it's putting 8 into the side. That's super important. And then when you place a die into this crafter here, it'll craft up the armor super quickly. We didn't even see it pop in there, but you can see there's a white wolf armor in there now. So enjoy, super easy to use. Next up, let's take a break from redstone for a second and we can take a look at some fun that I've had around the server. We had some cool new updates, some cool new things that I wanted to show off, but this was just a fun ender pearl throw that I had. Because I'm in the no wings club, once I got up to the roof of my buddy's drowned farm, I was in a bit of a tough spot, but luckily thanks to a good throw there, I was able to jump off the edge and throw the pearl in, and Jab was kind enough, after I helped him wall off the bottom of his farm, he was kind enough to give me a trident. And now next up, oh my god, what's he doing? Well, so we've got a new item that's coming out here, and I do want to give proper shout outs to Lullaby, the creator who invented this data pack and this new item. I do want to give myself full credit for the name though. Well, we'll get to that in just a second. Right now I'm actually just showing you this bit specifically because you may have noticed that I randomly jumped off that bridge, and 4 blocks down I mine into 3 pieces of ancient debris, the luckiest I have ever had. So you can imagine that the rest of the trip, obviously, I was just as lucky.
2 hours later.
Yeah, so legitimately, it took 1 hour and 38 minutes for me to find another one. I went through like 3 pickaxes. It took so long, but I finally got it. I found 2 more, so I had 5 in the end, and enough to craft 1 ingot, which is enough for me to craft this beautiful lodestone here and show off the brand new item, the Ender Compass. But an ender compass, like what's the difference? This looks like exactly like any compass that you've just used on a lodestone. Well, I will show you the difference right now because boom, teleports me to the lodestone that it was used on, and it works across dimensions and it works anywhere in the world. Now the item is consumed afterwards, so what I have right here is a compass that links to my lodestone, and I have a compass that links to a lodestone at spawn. So let's see what happens when I use the one that's linked to the one at spawn. Ta-da! Bum, 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 bum. And I've made an autocrafter for it so people can pick them up nice and easy. So in order to craft the lodestone compass, we came up with the recipe of a compass, an amethyst shard, and an eye of ender. And then obviously we need to craft up those other items. So to make the compass, you need redstone dust and an iron ingot. And then the ender eye is an ender pearl and blaze powder. So I had to make a machine that could craft all of those items together. And I've done it with a trapped chest as the activation to do it. So here it is in creative, and really the only thing that is to it is that you've got one crafter on one side and the other crafter on the other side, and they're mirrored on both sides like so. So you've just got the same thing pointing into one crafter in the middle, and then we've got amethyst shards. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot I don't have the right items in here because I actually don't have the ender compass on my single player, just on the server. So I just made it with any random item. But it works by using the trap chest. You can see the light turns on, it gets a signal whenever it's opened. So whenever you open this up here, just so you can see there's the light staying on. So when you open the trap chest, you actually cause the dropper here to fire, you cause the autocrafter to craft, and then otherwise the hoppers remain locked as well so that the items don't lose their form. So yeah, whenever you open it, it just dispenses you one compass, and then you can use it on the lodestone right outside the spawn portal. Pretty cool custom item for the Nitwit server, huh? And for my final adventure of this episode, I went to collect some wither skeleton skulls to get a beacon, and there's not much to report. We made this cool little custom area and it went without any hiccups at all. To be honest, I didn't really need the beacon, it was only for terracotta, but I do love a little combat adventure, a little excitement. But what we're doing here is we're mining out the future home of Stat Poker. I am gonna do this real quick kind of in a time lapse here because I actually have a tutorial for this on my channel already, so you can check out a full tutorial on how to build this. It's pretty old, but it's still it's exactly the same. I'll point out the only difference that I've made to it this time. I've made it silent and a little bit smaller than it was in the tutorial as well. So basically I'm going from the ground up using a schematic. I'm being a bit lazy, and we're just building on some monostable circuits and some 50-50 chances. This is a delay pulse just to keep things shuffling. This is your note block sounds to indicate that there's new cards been dispensed and everything. I'm building out a cobblestone. It's really disgusting. I'm disappointed in myself, but I was broke at the time. Actually, I'm still broke. So I didn't really have any good building blocks. What we're looking at right here is the actual card shuffler. You make like a link of droppers facing into each other, and then you use redstone dust to power all of them so that they shuffle the cards around. This is kind of like your internal game clock. There's something that I don't change in this for a while, which kind of annoys me watching it back. But this is the 50-50 decider as well that I'm updating right now. and I'm just going to add in the indicator light. So a great change that Tango and Etho made when they first made this, or sorry, not when they first made this, was to add a light that allowed people with lower scores to be able to play as well. So right now it's actually not working, it's not shuffling because I forgot to put this comparator in the corner into subtract mode. But first, actually, let's update the game sound. So we're going to throw in some gold blocks here just to make it a ding sound instead of that piano sound. And then this is pretty much it. Again, just kind of forgot to do the timings and the note block keys and everything like that. So when I go for a test run, you'll see here in a second, it only pulses when it's in subtract mode because it subtracts from itself. And then we just update the timings on this and it's all done. You're ready to play stat poker. And that is it, my friends. I am currently riding around what will be the main attraction of next episode's redstone. It's one of the coolest things that I've built so far, I think, as regards functionality and usability and everything like that. I'm quite excited to show it off. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you join for next episode as well. Take care. See you later. All the best. Bye-bye. Did that sound convincing? Did it sound like I was falling? Good luck, have fun, guys.